Welcome to Neighborhood Mechanic, everybody. This is the video. I'm going to show you how to do a timing service in your car. So let's get started. We're going to disconnect your ground battery terminal. This gives us access to the crankshaft bolt. We have to lower the engine down. To do that, we're going to remove the engine mount. For that, we need to support the car and support the engine. Just support the engine like that. Next, let's drain our coolant. Let's get our reservoir tank out. It's connected by these push-on fittings here onto that metal bracket. Just slide it up. Since our engine is supported, we're going to go ahead and remove these bolts. These are 15, I think. Yeah. This bolt we don't need to open because this is part of the assembly and we're going to pull it all together. But we are going to remove these two. Did you see? Engine moved. If you had not supported it, you would be in a heap of trouble. Let's get these bolts out. Perfect. Now the engine mount assembly should come out together, like so. See how much room we have now to work on things? Next, we're gonna slide the stinking belt out of the pulley set, because we do need to remove the alternator. Before you get the belt off, make sure you're going to loosen these 10mm bolts for the water pump pulley, because it'll be a little difficult afterwards. You see these bolts on the pulley? Yeah. I didn't say it's impossible, it's difficult. You can still do it afterwards. You just got to find a way to lock the pulley in place and get to it. So here we are. Our next step is to remove the timing cover. So we actually bring the engine to the time and lock it in place, right? Get the pulley out, but it simply comes off. Now, make sure to lower the engine down because we have to turn the crankshaft. But let's remove the timing cover. Once I get the timing cover out, I will show you where all the bolts are hidden so you can get to them without having to worry about breaking the cover. So there's one hidden bolt, I think total of 2 hidden bolts that you probably can't see. So give me a minute. So to get this cover out is a little bit of struggle, but you can guide it out. This part, I guess, is worth showing. The back of the cover is not solid. They designed it in a way so it can slide out. It's this little rubber here. I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, there you go. So here's the cover. Now, to show you where all the bolts are, you got 1, 2, this is the hidden one, 3, and you have to pop this cover out of here to remove the cover out of the way. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 bolts to get out, to remove. Now we can see our cam actuators. But first, we need to remove this one. Like I said, we need to remove alternator. So let's get to the alternator. The top alternator bolts are 15. One alternator bolt right here is also 15. You can see the length of it. Now alternator should pop out, but we need to remove this stud. The stud's always a pain in the neck. To remove that stud, you just need a 6mm, 6 point, and it should remove it. The reason I'm removing this stud is you cannot pull alternator far enough. There you go. This guy is pretty... Okay. Let's lay the alternator on its side so we can get to the plugs in the back. Oh gosh, this thing is stupid. Don't lose this cap right here. That's a battery connect bracket. You need 13mm socket to get this guy out. Gently remove it. You don't want to force too much because it could snap. Believe it or not, the housing is plastic, but actual stud is not. Move the rectifier plug, and alternator is free to pull out. Let's see how easy it is. There you go. Let's see how much space we have now. Plenty. I already have installed the water pump in here and the new timing belt. I'm just going to show you guys how to do it. I have to remove everything. Second bolt for this mount is right here. You see that? Right here. Third one is right in the center, right here. You probably will see that. Once you get the bolt out, this entire bracket slides right out. Now I'm gonna crank the motor and bring it in time. Crank it by hand, not by starting it. Here's the method I use as my backup to make sure my engine is in time. I remove the number 1 plug, shove in my tool just like this. It's like a long extension or a screwdriver. We're just gonna make sure it sits on top of the piston while watching the marks to line up. So you turn the engine, okay? And we're gonna wait for this extension to come all the way up and start dipping down. When it does, that indicates we have reached top dead center. So watch carefully. You saw that? The point of return? All right, now I'm gonna do this again, and this time I'm gonna watch really carefully. And I think this is it. This lines my marks up perfectly. Get my 19mm socket out. I was turning the engine with. Now let's get our tool. We're gonna use this tool here to lock the cam phasers, whatever you wanna call these suckers, in place. It's okay, sometimes it's very hard to push in. So now my tool is fully inserted. Now let's go and install the second timing tool on the side of the motor. Right here is your second spot for the timing tool. And you gotta remove this. Screws out of your way. There's one right here. Right, almost got it. Here's what it looks like. And what we're gonna insert is this guy here. And I'm gonna take it in, guide it. Try to hand tighten it, and it keeps getting stuck. That means your crankshaft is not lined up. So don't try it with the plier or anything. Try to move your crankshaft a little bit. All right, tool's fully seated. Now we're safe to pull this out. Crankshaft bolt is removed. I use a torque wrench. Let's guide this pulley, and what we're gonna do is straight. Here we go, comes right out. Okay, let's remove this little bolt here to remove. Perfect. Put it aside. Have to make sure is that our engine is locked up. So you're gonna attach the socket, turn this handle, and you will see it can't turn anymore. So engine is in time. Let's go get our belt off. Since our belt and the cams are locked up, we're gonna open this bolt here. That is, I think, 13 or 12. Once you get that thing off, you can take your belt out to address that. Here we go, we got the water pump out. And water pump is bolted with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. This bolt right here is hidden right here. You can see that. Sorry, the water pump is bolted like this. And the bolt right here is hidden right behind that collar. You might not see it, but you need to get to it. You see where your tensioner mounts? Right here. This part is mounted onto the water pump. Let me grab a new tensioner here. Your tensioner has this little knob right here. This is going to sit into this box. So when you install this thing, you're going to line this up like so. Put over to the mounting hole like that. And bolt it down. Once you have bolted down, you're gonna pull this guy up and the tensioner will get engaged and stretch the belt. The original water pump has metal gasket. See that? The gasket you should be using is this exact type of metal gasket, not paper. So let's get our water pump. Here's our new one. I'm gonna go ahead and use the new gasket and put this guy. Got new pump on. Tighten all the bolts. Now we're gonna it's time to put a new belt on there. So let's get a new belt. I'm gonna double check the belt has any marks that I need to follow. Obviously not. So we're going to just drop this guy in. Line it up. I'm surprised to when the belt lines up, there's a little slack down here. See that? I guess that's normal. Anyway, let's guide the belt onto the crank pulley down here. Now that part requires two hands because you need to make sure the mark you put in there on your crank does line up when you're installing your belt. This is what I was talking about. This bracket does not have any cotter pin to hold it in place. So wherever you marked, it's your job to make sure the mark lines up before putting the belt back in. So you're gonna line the mark up, tension the belt to this side, make sure to slide a bit off, and then slack on this side. So I'll be back. Here we go. Let's put our tensioner, tighten it up, make sure the bolt's holding. Perfect. Now the belt is sitting, slide a bit loose. I want to let you know that very little slack here, a little bit slack here, which I don't like. But what happens is because the lower sprocket is not locked in with cotter pin, the moment you pull this, the slack from here will move as well. One thing happens is you have to make sure that your engine is sitting in time at the bottom, and you can do that by pulling the turning the crankshaft and make sure it's locked position. So right here we're just going to pull this guy out of the way. Tensioner came here, this side is in tension, this side is in tension, pretty good. And I'm going to check and make sure the crankshaft is in position, has not moved. Yes, it has not moved. I can confirm that. So right now the engine should be in time. We're gonna need to remove this, install the bottom timing cover here, like so, for the upper timing covers. All right. So let's install this. Before you start the engine, you have to make sure you remove that tool. Otherwise, you'll have a damaged engine and you will not be happy. Let's take this tool out. Come on, sir. Perfect. Right now, you can double check, make sure all your work is done. Make sure you tighten the tensioner bolt. You have tightened all the water pump bolts properly before sliding your timing cover back in. I also want to double check and make sure this is where it's supposed to be. So I'm not going to install this. I have to make sure everything lines up. So I'm going to install the crankshaft, turn the engine, full rotation, and line these things back up. Make sure everything lines up. And you can do that as well before putting your cover back up. Now I have checked everything. I'm going to go ahead and put my timing cover back up. To do that, you're going to install your engine mount receiver. You have to remove and install all your bolts here. That's a 13mm socket. Tighten them up. Let's go ahead and slide the timing cover back in now. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and install all the bolts. Timing cover have this one long bolt. Every other bolt is the same size. One long bolt is going here. I'm going to go ahead and install the water pump pulley and just make sure all the bolts are hand tight, because once we get the belt on it, we'll be able to torque this pulley down. All right. Now we need to install the alternator and put the belt on. So alternator goes in the same place it came out of. Once we got all the belt installed, stretch belt installed, how I do it is I put a zip tie onto the pulley, crank the engine by hand, guide the belt up. And that's the only way to install it, unless you have a tool. You got to be very careful with the tool. It slips off and hits you in the face or goes flying. So I don't use that. Next, let's install the mount. Just like we took it out, we're going to use the entire unit as one piece to install here. Perfect. Get your studs. Obviously, the fasteners did not come off. Hand tighten these guys onto it. And we're going to install the tiny ones right here, hand tighten it. This one right here, hand tighten it. And this one right here is really hard to guide, so I'm gonna have to probably lift the base up just a little bit and them down. All right, this is all tight. You have to make sure that the engine is sitting. Let's remove the support jack. Let's guide the reservoir tank and install it onto these metal brackets. Side lines up. Otherwise, there you go. Now push it down straight. Perfect. this hose is in, tighten this clamp. This one is basically a squeeze and pull, and squeeze and then push and lock. Okay, so now we're gonna add coolant. But before we start adding coolant, you need to install the wheel, put the car down back on the ground, make sure level surface, start adding coolant. Right now, the coolant's up to the level. And double check all your work. Before you go to start this car, you have two things to check. Make sure you have tightened the crankshaft pulley bolt, and make sure you have removed the back crankshaft lock tool out of the way. If you have done so, make sure your alternator is connected and the plug cap, insulation cap is back on. Your alternator, both plugs are on. All your bolts are tight. You have installed your plug and ignition coil boot back in. All your engine coolant lines are plugged in. And make sure your belt is not sitting halfway on any of the pulleys. Now, once you start this car, you might have a small squeak on the belt. That is because the coolant was draining onto the other pulleys, and it will make that noise. If you have a belt conditioner, spray that on it, clean up a surface, but don't worry about it. What's left to do next is connect our ground terminal, tighten it down, and start it. Once you have connected this, unlike the cars with a chain, you don't have to remove the fuel relay to crank the car first few times, because there is no oil pressure build needed behind the timing, because the timing belt tensioner is mechanical, not hydraulic. So we don't have to do that. We don't have to do any special tricks here. Once everything is connected and you're sure you have timed it correctly and you did turn the motor 2 full turns before putting everything back together, you should be in good hand. Because once you do a full turns and you have confirmed your timing marks are back online, you got nothing to worry about. Just put it all together and start it. Let's go, fire it up. Let's see. So, turn the ignition on, make sure there's power. Let's start this thing. Idle is gonna stabilize pretty soon. Let's go take a look, see if there is any coolant leak. Because we just did water pump in it as well. We want to make sure there is no coolant dripping down. So far so good. I did not have any squeak from the belt. I guess pulleys were not as soaked as I thought. And engine has very, very smooth idle. We're good. Now, right here, the job is not quite done yet. What we did is we removed the water pump to take the coolant out of the engine block. Now we need to make sure the engine block has received enough coolant. We're going to let the car run until thermostat opens, and you will hear the radiator fan kick on, right? Let it run for a minute, turn the car off, wait to cool down, come back, open the cap. You will see the coolant will be needed to top off. Before taking this car for any longer ride, you will have to perform this test. Otherwise, you will be forced to pull over and probably fill up, because the temperature gauge will start to spike a higher temperature. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I have another video. If you have missed the timing, and you have messed it up and you don't know how to put it back together, watch my other video. I will have the link at the end of this video. And if you're doing this the first time, I have a basic guide that tells you what you need before starting this job. That video is also at the end of this video. And what you can do is watch that. It will tell you all the tools you need, all the parts you need. There's a links. Make sure you purchase everything to get this job done smoothly. I do not have any links for the coolant. You can buy that locally at AutoZone. Buy a distilled water and concentrate coolant, mix it up, get yourself 2 bottles, and you're all set. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Wish you all the best with your repairs. Like and subscribe. Support the channel any way you can, by sharing, by referring, or also there is a support channel button somewhere. I don't know where, but appreciate it. Take care. See you in the next one.